LeBron James, the billion-dollar blueprint. LeBron didn't just play the game, he played the entire system like a chess grandmaster thinking 10 moves ahead while everyone else was still figuring out how the pieces move. Most players come into the league desperately trying to get any sneaker deal they can negotiate. LeBron came in already wearing the crown with a $90 million Nike contract before he even touched NBA hardwood as a professional. But what separates LeBron from literally everyone else in sports history? He didn't just stop at that massive initial payday and coast on endorsement money for the rest of his career. He built a legitimate business empire like he was Tony Stark with a jump shot and a Harvard MBA, Spring Hill Company producing movies and documentaries, Uninterrupted creating athlete-focused content, Fenway Sports Group ownership stakes, Blaze pizza franchises, and equity positions in seemingly everything that moves or makes money. While other superstars chase immediate paychecks and short-term financial gratification, LeBron makes strategic decisions with decades-long implications, like taking less cash up front in exchange for equity stakes on the back end. These are the kind of power moves that separate temporary wealth from generational dynasty building. He systematically turned endorsement money into ownership positions across multiple industries. He converted social media clout into actual financial capital that generates passive income. He transformed the limited role of just being an athlete into becoming a legitimate business mogul whose influence extends far beyond basketball courts. The business world had to take notice when athletes weren't traditionally allowed to discuss high-level corporate strategy and global expansion plans. Now, LeBron regularly talks about media rights negotiations, international market expansion, and his stated goal of owning an NBA team someday, probably in Las Vegas where the league is expanding. Here's the most impressive statistic that proves this wasn't luck or coincidence. LeBron became the first active NBA player in history to achieve billionaire status. That milestone represents vision, strategic planning, and execution at levels that most Fortune 500 CEOs never reach, let alone professional athletes who are supposed to focus exclusively on their sport. His investment portfolio reads like a masterclass in diversification and long-term wealth building. Real estate holdings, technology company stakes, entertainment production ventures, consumer goods partnerships. LeBron built multiple revenue streams that will continue generating income long after his final basketball game. The Spring Hill Company alone has produced content for major networks and streaming platforms, creating intellectual property that can be monetized indefinitely. His uninterrupted platform gives athletes voice and agency in telling their own stories, which represents both social impact and business opportunity rolled into one venture. From growing up in Akron housing projects to sitting in Apple boardroom meetings discussing partnership strategies, LeBron's business blueprint isn't just relevant for professional athletes. It's a template for anyone thinking beyond immediate gratification toward long-term wealth accumulation and social influence. Shaquille O'Neal, the big businessman. Everyone remembers Shaq breaking backboards, bullying centers, and dominating the paint with physical force that bordered on unfair competition. But what most people don't realize is that this man broke financial barriers and accumulated wealth harder than he ever broke basketball rims or opposing players' spirits. Shaq earned over $290 million in NBA contracts during his playing career, which would be enough to set up most people's families for multiple generations. But his off-court business ventures and investment portfolio, those numbers make his basketball salary look like pocket change in comparison. The transformation from spendthrift rookie to sophisticated investor happened through hard-learned lessons and strategic mentorship. Shaq has openly discussed blowing $1 million in a single day as a young player. Jewelry, cars, parties, and general financial recklessness that would have bankrupted normal people. His financial advisor delivered a reality check so harsh that it completely changed his relationship with money forever. From that pivotal moment forward, every financial decision became about building generational wealth rather than temporary gratification. Shaq started studying business principles, investment strategies, and wealth preservation techniques like he was preparing for the most important game of his life. His current business portfolio reads like a diversified investment fund managed by Wall Street professionals, ownership stakes in Papa John's pizza franchises, Auntie Anne's pretzel locations, Five Guys burger restaurants, and 24-hour fitness gym locations. He's not just appearing in commercials for these companies, he literally owns pieces of the businesses behind the advertisements. The educational commitment shows his seriousness about business legitimacy. Shaq earned a doctorate degree in education, serves on boards of directors for multiple corporations, and maintains his own clothing lines and sneaker brands. His recent purchase of Reebok alongside Allen Iverson represents the kind of major acquisition that transforms former athletes into actual business moguls. Shaq's brand extends far beyond basketball into entertainment. technology investments, and corporate partnerships that leverage his personality into profit. His TNT studio work provides steady income while maintaining public visibility that supports his other business ventures. The man created a walking business portfolio that happens to wear size 22 shoes. His investment philosophy focuses on businesses he understands and can actively promote through his personal brand. Rather than just putting money into abstract financial instruments, Shaq chooses companies where his celebrity status and business acumen can drive actual value creation. The transformation from basketball giant to business titan represents one of the most successful athlete to entrepreneur transitions in sports history. Shaq turned natural charisma into sustainable capital, converted commercial appearances into ownership opportunities, and built a financial empire that will generate income for his family decades after his last free throw attempt. Hakeem Olajuwon, the real estate prophet. You want to discuss smooth operators and strategic long-term thinking? Forget the dream shake basketball move that made defenders look foolish. Hakeem Olajuwon shook the Houston real estate market with the precision and patience of a master investor who understood markets better than most professional developers. While everyone else was chasing sneaker deals, endorsement contracts, and celebrity appearance fees, Hakeem was quietly buying up Houston commercial real estate one strategic property at a time. His approach was methodical, research-based, and focused on long-term appreciation rather than quick profits or flashy acquisitions. The whispers started circulating in NBA circles during the 1990s about Hakeem's real estate activities, but most people didn't pay serious attention because his investment strategy wasn't flashy or social media friendly. No grand announcements, no celebrity partnerships, no press conferences about business ventures, just steady, calculated property acquisitions that built wealth systematically. Hakeem's investment approach reflected his personal values and religious principles. Following Islamic finance guidelines, he avoided interest-based loans and debt financing, instead making all-cash purchases that provided complete ownership without financial leverage risks. This conservative approach meant slower initial growth, but ultimately greater long-term security and profitability. His portfolio eventually included strip malls, apartment complexes, office buildings, and land development projects throughout the Houston metropolitan area. Each purchase was researched thoroughly, analyzed for appreciation potential, and acquired only when the numbers made sense for long-term wealth building rather than speculative gains. The most impressive aspect of Hakeem's real estate empire is its current estimated value, which industry experts suggest exceeds $500 million. These aren't inflated valuations based on celebrity status or speculative bubbles. These are income-producing properties in growing markets that generate consistent cash flow and continue appreciating in value. Unlike many athlete business ventures that depend on personal brand maintenance and public visibility, Hakeem's real estate holdings generate income regardless of his current celebrity status or public profile. The properties produce rental income, lease payments, and appreciation gains that create true passive income streams. His investment success proves that the most profitable business strategies aren't always the most visible or publicly celebrated ones. While other players were building brands and chasing endorsement deals, Hakeem was building actual wealth through fundamental investment principles that create lasting financial security. The patience and discipline required for successful real estate investing perfectly matched Hakeem's personality and playing style. Just as he dominated basketball through fundamentals, footwork, and strategic thinking rather than pure athleticism, his business success came through research, patience, and smart decision making rather than speculation or trend following. Michael Jordan, the brand that became bigger than basketball. When discussing athletes who built financial empires beyond their sport, Michael Jordan represents the ultimate case study in transforming athletic excellence into business dominance that transcends industries, generations, and cultural boundaries. His story proves that the right partnership at the right time can create wealth that makes playing contracts look like signing bonuses. Jordan earned approximately $90 million during his entire NBA playing career, which was considered astronomical at the time, but represents only a small fraction of his current net worth. Today, his wealth exceeds $3 billion, making him one of the richest athletes in human history despite retiring from basketball over 2 decades ago. The foundation of Jordan's business empire started with a decision that almost didn't happen. In 1984, Jordan actually preferred signing with Adidas because he wore their shoes throughout college and felt more comfortable with their brand image. Nike was still primarily a running shoe company trying to break into basketball markets dominated by Converse and Adidas. Nike's game-changing offer included something unprecedented in athlete endorsement history, giving Jordan his own signature line with creative input, profit participation, and long-term royalty agreements. Instead of just paying him to wear their shoes, Nike offered him partial ownership of his own brand within within their company structure. The Air Jordan line became more than footwear. It became a cultural phenomenon that defined style, status, and athletic aspiration for multiple generations. People camped outside stores for new releases, collected vintage models as investments, and treated Jordan shoes as fashion statements rather than just athletic equipment. Current Jordan brand revenue generates hundreds of millions in annual royalty payments for Michael personally, creating passive income that dwarfs his basketball earnings every single year. The brand maintains cultural relevance and commercial success despite Jordan retiring when many current customers weren't even born yet. But Jordan didn't limit his business activities to sneaker royalties. His investment portfolio includes NBA team ownership through the Charlotte Hornets, which he eventually sold for massive profits. He holds stakes in DraftKings sports betting, Sincoro tequila brands, NASCAR team ownership, and various other ventures that leverage his name recognition and business acumen. The genius of Jordan's business strategy lies in understanding that his personal brand could become more valuable than his athletic performance. While his basketball career had a natural expiration date, his cultural impact and market appeal could potentially last forever with proper management and strategic partnerships. Jordan's approach to business mirrors his approach to basketball. Obsessive attention to detail, competitive drive to be the best, and unwillingness to accept anything less than excellence. He applies the same mentality that made him the greatest basketball player to building the most successful athlete business empire in sports history. Junior Bridgman, the billionaire nobody talks about. This story needs to be taught in business schools and shared with every young athlete who thinks fame and flashy ventures are the only paths to real wealth. Junior Bridgman built one of the most impressive business empires in sports history, and most people have never heard his name because he focused on substance over style, results over recognition. Bridgman had a solid but unspectacular NBA career, averaging around 13 points per game as a reliable role player who never made an all-star team or appeared on highlight reels. His basketball resume wouldn't impress casual fans, but his business achievements would make Fortune 500 CEOs jealous of his strategic vision and execution abilities. After retiring from basketball, Bridgman made a decision that seemed mundane at the time, but proved to be absolutely brilliant in retrospect. Instead of chasing entertainment industry opportunities or trying to maintain basketball-related visibility, he invested in Wendy's restaurant franchises with the systematic approach of a private equity firm. The franchise model appealed to Bridgman because it provided proven business systems, established brand recognition, and predictable cash flow patterns that could be scaled through disciplined expansion. He started with a few locations and reinvested profits into additional franchises, building a restaurant empire one unit at a time. His portfolio eventually grew to include over 100 Wendy's locations across multiple states, generating millions in annual revenue through consistent operational excellence and strategic market selection. But Bridgman didn't stop at fast food. He expanded into Chili's restaurants, bottling plants, food distribution companies, and eventually created Bridgman Foods Inc. as a comprehensive food service conglomerate. The business philosophy that drove Bridgman's success focused on understanding industries completely before investing, choosing businesses with sustainable competitive advantages, and scaling operations through reinvestment rather than external financing. His approach emphasized cash flow generation over speculative growth or trendy investments. Forbes eventually recognized Bridgman as one of the wealthiest former athletes in the world, with a net worth estimated at over $600 million, and some industry experts suggesting he may have reached billionaire status. These numbers represent real business value built through operational excellence rather than speculative valuations or celebrity endorsements. What makes Bridgman's story particularly impressive is the contrast between his modest basketball profile and his extraordinary business achievements. He proved that athletic fame isn't necessary for building significant wealth, and that disciplined business execution can create more lasting value than sports celebrity status. His success also demonstrates the power of choosing unglamorous but profitable business models over flashy ventures that generate media attention but questionable financial returns. While other athletes were starting clothing lines or trying to break into entertainment, Bridgman was building a food service empire that generated consistent profits and sustainable growth. The lesson from Bridgman's story extends beyond athletics to anyone building wealth. Focus on fundamentals over flash, choose businesses you understand over trending opportunities, and prioritize cash flow generation over public recognition. Sometimes the most successful people are the ones you never hear about because they're too busy building to talk about building. Kobe Bryant, the visionary investor. Kobe's approach to business perfectly reflected his basketball mentality: obsessive preparation, strategic thinking, and relentless pursuit of excellence in every area he chose to enter. The Mamba mentality wasn't just about basketball. It was a comprehensive life philosophy that he applied to investment strategy, business development, and wealth creation with the same intensity that made him legendary on the court. After retiring from basketball, Kobe didn't just fade into comfortable celebrity status or limit himself to traditional athlete business ventures. He founded Granity Studios as a multimedia content company focused on storytelling that could inspire and educate young people, particularly in sports and personal development contexts. His Oscar win for the short film Dear Basketball proved that Kobe's creative vision could translate into legitimate artistic achievement beyond athletics. The project demonstrated his ability to excel in completely different industries when he applied the same preparation and dedication that defined his basketball career. The business investment that best exemplifies Kobe's strategic thinking was his $6 million stake in Body Armor Sports Drinks during the company's early development stages. While other athletes were securing endorsement deals for upfront payments, Kobe took equity in exchange for promoting the brand, betting on the company's long-term growth potential rather than immediate cash flow. When Coca-Cola acquired Body Armor for over $5 billion, Kobe's investment returned approximately $400 million, representing one of the most successful athlete business investments in history. The return demonstrates how strategic equity participation can create wealth that dwarfs traditional endorsement contract values. Kobe's investment philosophy extended beyond individual deals to systematic wealth building through venture capital participation and technology company stakes. He studied investment principles, networked with Silicon Valley leaders, and approached business opportunities with the same analytical rigor that he applied to studying game film and opponent tendencies. His mentorship activities included working with young athletes on business development, financial literacy, and long-term career planning that extended beyond sports. Kobe understood that athletic careers are temporary, but properly managed business ventures and investments can generate income indefinitely. The tragic end to Kobe's life means we'll never know the full scope of what his business empire might have become, but his existing ventures and investment track record suggest he was building something designed to last far beyond his basketball legacy. His approach to business represented evolution from athlete to entrepreneur to investor, showing how athletic discipline can translate into other forms of success. Magic Johnson, the franchise flipper. Magic Johnson's transition from basketball legend to business mogul represents one of the most successful athlete entrepreneurship stories in sports history, demonstrating how charisma, strategic thinking, and social consciousness can be combined to create both financial success and community impact. After retiring from basketball, Magic launched Magic Johnson Enterprises with the ambitious goal of bringing quality businesses and services to underserved urban communities while generating substantial profits for investors. His approach focused on identifying market opportunities that other developers overlooked or avoided due to demographic misconceptions. The business philosophy behind Magic's ventures emphasized that inner-city communities represented untapped markets with significant purchasing power and consumer demand. Instead of viewing these areas as high-risk investments, Magic saw them as underserved markets ready for quality retail and entertainment options. His early successes included developing movie theater complexes in urban areas where major chains refused to build, proving that these communities would support premium entertainment venues when they were made available. The theaters generated strong profits while providing jobs and entertainment options that residents previously had to travel to suburbs to access. Magic's Starbucks partnership involved opening dozens of locations in urban markets, demonstrating that premium coffee retail could succeed in diverse communities when combined with appropriate marketing and community engagement strategies. The partnership generated millions in revenue while changing perceptions about urban market viability. The sports ownership component of Magic's business empire includes stakes in the Los Angeles Dodgers, Los Angeles Sparks WNBA team, and Washington Commanders NFL franchise. These ownership positions represent both significant financial investments and opportunities to influence major sports organizations from leadership positions. His real estate development projects have transformed entire neighborhoods through mixed-use developments that combine retail, dining, and entertainment options designed to serve local communities while attracting visitors from surrounding areas. These projects create jobs, increase property values, and improve quality of life for residents. Magic's business success extends beyond individual profit generation to systematic community development that creates lasting economic impact. His ventures demonstrate how business success and social responsibility can be combined to create both financial returns and positive social change. The HIV diagnosis that threatened to end Magic's career ultimately became part of his business story, as his advocacy and awareness work created additional additional platform opportunities and reinforced his image as someone who overcomes challenges through determination and strategic thinking. Kevin Durant, the tech whisperer. Kevin Durant's approach to business and investing reflects the same quiet confidence and strategic precision that characterizes his basketball game. While other superstars were building loud personal brands and flashy ventures, Durant was methodically building an investment portfolio focused on technology companies and digital innovation with the patience and research skills of a professional venture capitalist. His investment firm 35 Ventures operates as both a media company and investment fund, allowing Durant to participate in content creation while identifying and funding promising startup companies. The dual focus creates synergies between his personal brand development and his wealth building activities. Durant's early investments in companies like Coinbase cryptocurrency exchange, Postmates food delivery service, and Acorns investment app demonstrated his ability to identify consumer technology trends before they became mainstream adoption stories. These investments required understanding complex business models and market dynamics that most athletes never attempt to analyze. The Coinbase investment alone generated massive returns when the company went public, proving that Durant's technology investment thesis was based on legitimate market analysis rather than celebrity trend following. His ability to evaluate complex financial technology companies shows business acumen that extends far beyond basketball knowledge. His media investments include stakes in sports betting companies, social media platforms, and content creation tools that align with his personal interests while participating in rapidly growing digital economy sectors. The investments create multiple revenue streams that don't depend on his continued basketball performance or celebrity status. Durant's business philosophy emphasizes patience, research, and long-term value creation over quick profits or high-profile ventures. His investment approach mirrors his basketball development, steady improvement through study and practice, rather than relying solely on natural talent or public attention. The technology focus positions Durant's wealth for continued growth as digital innovation drives economic expansion in areas like artificial intelligence, blockchain applications, and digital media distribution. His investment portfolio benefits from long-term technology adoption trends rather than depending on short-term celebrity visibility. His partnership with business manager Rich Kleiman creates a professional investment team that can evaluate opportunities, conduct due diligence, and manage portfolio companies with institutional-level sophistication. The collaboration combines Durant's market insight and celebrity status with professional investment management capabilities. Chris Paul, the deal maker. Chris Paul's business activities reflect the same floor general leadership and strategic thinking that made him one of the most respected point guards in NBA history. His approach to wealth building emphasizes diversification, strategic partnerships, and using his platform to create both financial returns and positive social impact. His investment portfolio spans technology companies, consumer goods, financial services, and media ventures, demonstrating a sophisticated understanding of market opportunities across multiple industries. Rather than focusing exclusively on sports-related businesses, Paul has built wealth through participation in growing economic sectors that don't depend on athletic performance. The State Farm partnership represents one of the most successful athlete endorsement relationships in advertising history, transforming Paul from basketball player to mainstream cultural figure recognizable to audiences who don't follow sports. The long-term campaign created brand association that extends his marketability beyond basketball career duration. His technology investments include stakes in financial services platforms, food delivery companies, and mobile applications that serve underserved communities. These investments combine profit potential with social impact by supporting businesses that improve access to financial services and convenient commerce options. Paul's role as president of the NBA Players Association demonstrates his business acumen in negotiating complex collective bargaining agreements that affect league-wide compensation structures, benefit programs, and player rights. His leadership in these areas creates value for all professional basketball players while enhancing his own business network and industry knowledge. His production company investments allow Paul to participate in content creation and media development projects that can generate long-term royalty income while building his personal brand in entertainment industries. The media ventures create additional revenue streams that complement his athletic career and endorsement activities. The venture capital activities include funding for startups led by minority entrepreneurs, combining investment returns with social impact by supporting business development in underserved communities. These investments demonstrate how wealth building and social responsibility can be integrated through strategic business choices. Giannis Antetokounmpo, from hustle to global empire. Giannis Antetokounmpo's transformation from poverty to global business success represents one of the most inspiring wealth creation stories in modern sports. demonstrating how determination, strategic thinking, and family values can overcome seemingly impossible obstacles to build generational wealth and international influence. The background story adds incredible context to his business achievements. Giannis grew up in Athens selling watches, DVDs, and CDs on the street to help his family survive, sometimes sleeping in basketball gyms because they couldn't afford transportation home. The contrast between those struggles and his current global business empire makes his success even more remarkable. His Nike partnership and Zoom Freak signature shoe line generated massive revenue while establishing Giannis as a global basketball icon whose appeal extends far beyond traditional NBA markets. The international marketability reflects his unique background and playing style that resonates with diverse audiences worldwide. Investment activities include stakes in Ready Nutrition supplement companies, media production ventures, and even partial ownership of the Milwaukee Brewers baseball team. These diverse investments show sophisticated business thinking that extends his wealth building beyond basketball-related ventures into multiple industries and revenue streams. His technology partnerships with companies like WhatsApp, JBL, and Meta demonstrate the global reach of his personal brand and his ability to command premium endorsement deals with major corporations. These partnerships create ongoing revenue streams while maintaining his visibility in consumer technology markets. The Disney Plus documentary about his family's journey from Greece to NBA stardom creates additional revenue while telling an inspirational story that enhances his personal brand value. The media content generates both immediate income and long-term brand building that supports other business ventures. Family inclusion in his business success shows the values-driven approach that guides his wealth-building activities. Rather than just accumulating individual wealth, Giannis has created opportunities for his brothers and family members to participate in professional basketball and business ventures that benefit the entire family unit. His approach to business reflects the same work ethic and determination that made him an NBA champion and MVP winner. The systematic building of multiple revenue streams, international partnerships, and long-term investments demonstrates business acumen that will continue generating wealth long after his basketball career ends. Dwyane Wade, the culture capitalist. Dwyane Wade's post-retirement business strategy exemplifies how athletes can leverage cultural influence and personal brand development to create sustainable wealth through diverse ventures that extend far beyond traditional sports-related opportunities. His approach combines business acumen with cultural impact to build an empire based on lifestyle, fashion, and media influence. Wade Cellars wine label represents his entry into luxury consumer goods markets, targeting affluent demographics who appreciate premium products associated with successful athletes. The wine business creates ongoing revenue through brand licensing and product sales while establishing Wade as a lifestyle influence beyond basketball. His fashion industry involvement includes partnerships with high-end brands, appearances at major fashion events like the Met Gala, and development of his own clothing and accessory lines. These ventures capitalize on his style influence and celebrity status to create multiple revenue streams in growing lifestyle markets. The Utah Jazz ownership stake demonstrates Wade's transition from player to executive, giving him equity participation in NBA franchise value appreciation while providing business experience in sports management and operations. The ownership position creates both financial returns and continued involvement in professional basketball at the highest levels. Media production investments allow Wade to participate in content creation and entertainment industry development, generating potential long-term royalty income while building his personal brand in new industries. His executive producer roles on various television and digital media projects create additional revenue streams beyond traditional endorsement deals. His marriage to Gabrielle's union created a power couple dynamic that amplifies both of their individual business opportunities and cultural influence. The combined celebrity status creates partnership opportunities and endorsement deals that benefit both their individual ventures and joint business activities. Social advocacy work and charitable foundation activities enhance Wade's public image while creating business networking opportunities and partnership possibilities with corporations seeking to align with socially conscious celebrities. The advocacy work demonstrates values-driven leadership that appeals to modern consumers and business partners. Final thoughts: the game beyond the game. From alley-oops to IPOs, these athletes discovered that the most important game doesn't end when the final buzzer sounds. It begins when they step off the court and into boardrooms, investment meetings, and entrepreneurial ventures that will define their long-term financial security and social impact. Every player we've discussed today figured out something that separates temporary athletic success from permanent wealth creation. how to convert their name recognition into sustainable net worth, how to transform court presence into boardroom power, and how to build business empires that will generate income for decades after their last professional game. The common threads connecting these success stories include strategic thinking, long-term vision, diversification across multiple industries, and willingness to learn business skills that extend far beyond athletic performance. Each athlete applied the same dedication and work ethic that made them successful in basketball to building wealth through business ventures and investments. Whether it's LeBron stacking billions through media and investment diversification, Hakeem flipping commercial real estate with patient precision, or Junior Bridgman building a restaurant empire that nobody talks about but everyone should study, these athletes proved that the smartest plays happen off the court. The lesson extends beyond professional sports to anyone building wealth and career success. Athletic careers are temporary by nature, but sharp business minds and strategic decision-making can create value that lasts for generations. The most successful athletes understand that their sports performance creates platform opportunities that must be converted into sustainable business ventures before the athletic window closes. These stories prove that it's not just about highlight reels and championship rings, it's about high-yield returns and strategic portfolio building. The jersey numbers get retired, but the business empires continue generating income and creating opportunities for future generations. Basketball careers end, but sharp minds and smart investments can create wealth that outlasts any individual athletic achievement. The most important victory these athletes achieved wasn't on any scoreboard. It was in building financial security and business success that will benefit their families long after their final games are forgotten. The blueprint exists for current and future athletes who want to build similar success. Focus on long-term wealth creation over short-term spending. Diversify investments across multiple industries, learn business skills beyond sports, and use athletic platform opportunities to build sustainable enterprises that create lasting value. For everyone else, these stories demonstrate that success principles are transferable across industries and careers. The work ethic, strategic thinking, and long-term vision that create athletic excellence can also create business success when applied with the same dedication and systematic approach.